You ever wonder why some people make it and some people don't? Doesn't matter what the talent level is. You ever wonder why some people just stay stuck, stagnant, wherever they are in life? And do you notice at the same time that some people keep soaring to the moon? What's the difference? How did this person stay down there and how did this person ascend higher than, they even imagine? I have 2 words: work ethic. We're going to talk about that today. You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terry Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I like to thank you for coming to the New Life Tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Today we're going to talk about work ethic. Oh boy, I'm just going to ramble today, so get ready. This is going to be a ramble session. Have you ever noticed that some people in your life, they just don't want to put the work in?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They lay around, they kind of wait for everybody else to do things for them. When things don't work out for them, they blame people too. They really don't want to do it. Now, if they have to do it or if they're forced to do it, they might get up and do something, but they never take it upon themselves to take the initiative to put extra work in to what they do. I want you to not be that way. And if you are that way or ever were that way, I want you to die to that person. I want you to set that person ablaze, set that afire. I want that completely burnt up in ash. I want you to become a different person. I want you to develop a crazy work ethic. Now, some of us, you can argue, are born with a work ethic. Some of us aren't. Some of us were raised with people in our family. Our parents had a crazy work ethic. Some of us didn't, right? So I'm going to give a little leeway to some of you because maybe you haven't experienced crazy work ethic before. If you haven't, then I want you to train yourself to have a crazy work ethic. How do you do that, Brotha T?
You must unlearn what you have learned.
By getting up and working. Let's stop talking and do more doing, right? I want you to focus in on what you want in life. I want you to know the work you have to do that. And I want you to put that work into getting whatever you're trying to get, whatever that is. And once you get there, I want you to work a little bit more. Why? I'm already there, Brotha T. I'm getting there. Why would I work even harder? Because you want to be the best at whatever you do. You want to be the best at wherever you're trying to go. You're trying to get there, but you want to get there in a way so where you can be the expert, the king of that, whatever that is, the craft or whatever, the industry you're going into. It doesn't matter. Even if it's a regular job, I don't want you to work that regular job just for the paycheck. I want you to work that job so you can become a better person. Now, a lot of you out there are saying like, that doesn't even make sense. And if you're saying that, you're making my point. Make yourself a better person. How do you do this? Let's say you work at McDonald's. Let's say you're on the fries, right? Some people look at McDonald's as a bad job or a job that people work when they're in high school or whatever. Even if you're not in high school and you end up having that job, know that there are stepping stones with this job. You can start on the fries. You can eventually become an assistant manager, then a manager, and move up. If you don't want to stay in that corporation and this is a temporary job, then you can learn certain things. You can learn how to work as a team. You can take a good look at the manager and see their managing style. You can even start asking them questions so you can learn the food industry. You get what I'm saying? You know, if you really pay attention, okay, they use these type of fryers. So if I ever start my own restaurant, I know what type of fryers to get. Oh, okay, that's how you do bookkeeping. Okay, so that's how you handle the human resources side. These are things that you can do if you're going to have a business later. These things come into play. This is what I'm saying. If you have that work ethic, you go in there and you're paying attention and you're learning, these are things you can use later. These are all tools. Now, everything I just named, this is how I think. This is how Brother T thinks. If I go into something, I used to be a cable guy, right? So I used to go into people's houses, put cable television in, internet, phone. I did security, right? But not only did I do that, I learned so much about telecommunications. I learned how the different paths that, data signal travels, upload and download. I know this stuff. There are some, I'm going to let the cat out the bag, but there are some cable guys don't even know. And they've been doing it for years, right? But I took it upon myself to understand these signals, how they run, what causes them not to run. This made me a better technician when I had to do repairs. This made me a better technician when I did installs, because I could do it in a way that gives you the best signal possible. Some guys just came in, threw it in, it worked, get out of there. I got my paycheck. That's what I'm saying. Work ethic, family, work ethic, work ethic. Work ethics. What makes the best athletes the best? What makes them the best? It has to be work ethic, because if you look at the level of athleticism, if you look at the level of talent, there are guys in the semi-pro leagues that are almost as good as guys in the pro leagues, but they never make it. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's because of work ethic. They don't want to put that work in to be a better player. The weaknesses that they have, they don't want to work on them, right? If somebody says, I'll get great example. Here we go. There was a guy, and he played in college basketball. He was pretty good, man. They went to the NCAA tournament. They went kind of far. The team didn't notoriously go far in that tournament. They didn't have a long track record of doing that. But this guy was pretty good, man. Every time he went to the basket, right, he seemed like he was unstoppable. They couldn't stop him from doing whatever he wanted to do if he got close to that basket. But if you pushed him out away from the basket and made him take the long jump shot, he would miss a lot of them, right? To the point where everybody noticed. The commentators would notice. Everybody, hey, this guy's not hitting that outside shot. Okay? What did he do? He got drafted to the NBA. I'm going to get to the name in a minute. He got drafted to the NBA. It took him, I would say, a year and a half, 2 years. Would you know that he got to the point where he was so scary that you couldn't leave him out there either? So you had to come out, and once you did that, he would go right back into the basket again. Who am I talking about? Dwayne Wade. They looked at his, scouting report. This guy can't shoot jumpers. He made himself so deadly at that. You couldn't leave him anywhere on the court. He was a danger to everybody. He was a bomb ready to go off. He was so good, in fact, that when he came together with LeBron and Chris Bosh, he took a step back and was still the second leading scorer. He said, okay, I'm going to let LeBron do what he does, and I'm still going to be a killer, right? I'm just to get some championships, right? But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Work ethic is what got him to that point. Now, he was good enough to make the NBA. He was good enough to be a good player in the NBA. Let's say he never worked on that jump shot. Let's say he was just so deadly going to the hole. He still would have been a good player. I'm sure of it. But would he be the Dwayne Wade we know? Probably not, if he didn't put that work in. You have to put the work in, people. You have to put the work in. Notoriously, look at Tom Brady. Everyone knows him now as the greatest quarterback that ever lived, right? All those championships he got in New England, the championship in Tampa Bay, that was the most impressive to me, the Tampa Bay championship. But Tom Brady just didn't wake up and just become the greatest quarterback of the NFL ever seen. And I used to love Joe Montana, let me tell you, and I got to give it up. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I got to give it up. However, when he was at Michigan, what happened? He was at Michigan. He was pretty good at Michigan. Every time he got in the game, they had a chance to win that game no matter who they played. Now, he did have a coach that would snatch him out every now and then because they had a little young, fresh guy. I think his name was Drew Henson, right? So they would alternate him. And you could see sometimes it would, I don't know, but sometimes it seemed like it would shake his confidence a little bit because, you know, you want your coach to have total confidence in you. But the knock on Brady was he wasn't athletic, right? He can't move in the pocket. Once the pocket collapses and you have those big 300-pound of muscle guys coming at you trying to tear your head off, they said he couldn't move, get out the way. They said he couldn't do any of this stuff, right? And he was supposedly super slow. He went to what they call the combine. And he ran the little sprints, and you should just find the footage. You'll see what I'm talking. You'll see why I'm laughing, right? It's like this guy's not a football player. He looked like a insurance salesman trying to make an NFL team, right? He got drafted, I believe, 5th round. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. Yeah. It's 30-something teams in NFL. It's 30-something teams, then 30 more, then 30 more, then 30 more. It took him a while to get to Tom Brady. So they drafted him. What he did, he came in. He even told him.
This skinny beanpole of a young man walked over to me and said, "Hi, Mr. Kraft. I want to introduce myself. I'm Tom Brady." I said, "I know who you are. You're our 6th-round draft choice." And I always remember he looked me like a laser, eye to eye, and he said, "That's right, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."
Right. Yeah. Watch this. So what did he do, though? Where am I going? Work ethic. He worked harder than everybody on the team. He knew the playbook backwards and forwards. He would look at tape and more tape and more tape, more than the average quarterback would. His work ethic absolutely prepared him to be a starting QB in the NFL. I wouldn't, we'll call it a lucky break, even though what happened to the other player wasn't lucky. Somebody got hurt, and by circumstances, he got a chance to be the quarterback. And I remember this vividly in my mind when he got put in the game. I remember it because I was a Tom Brady guy from the Michigan days. I'm like, yeah, they playing my guy. You know, I'm thinking he's got a chance to be decent because I remember he was pretty good. So they would put him in the game and they had kid gloves on him. They wouldn't let him pass a lot. You know, it's almost like they were a little bit afraid because he was still a young player. So they didn't want him to mess up too much. So what did they do? And you can see that he started reading the defenses quicker, right? The work ethic is how he got to that point. Then after that, they would trust him a little more. And before you know it, they just unleashed him and said, you know what? Go ahead and do it. And I believe they won the Super Bowl that year, and then they just went on a run. They went on an absolute tear. What is my point? No way. There's no way in HELL that Tom Brady would be as close as he is to being where he is. There's no way he would be where he is if he had not overworked and outdid every single body else. That's what I want you to do today. I want you to outwork everybody. Don't just go to work and get that paycheck. Go to work to become the best at what you do. If you see somebody and they're doing it and it seems effortless and seem like you're putting all this effort, but they're getting better results. You know why? Because their work ethic is different. That's why it seems effortless, because they're used to putting in that work ethic. I want you to change, and I want you to put as much work ethic as them. If you have to, pick their brain. Start asking them questions. Oh, how do you do this? How did you get there? You'll be surprised. People love to brag on themselves, right? When they're doing really good. They'll give you the secrets if you just ask them sometimes. Now, there are times when they won't. But most of the time, you'll be surprised. People will give you the secrets. Put the work in. I'm telling you, the more work you put in, the better results you're going to have. We're going to wrap it up. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. Thank you for stopping through. I can't express enough how I love the people who are coming through. I love the comments. Keep the comments coming. You know how it feels to look at a comment and somebody tells me, thank you, I needed that. I love that. I love it. That's why we're here. T's Life Tree. We are here to motivate you and get you to a better place mentally. We're dropping pine cones for your mental health, right? Little pine cones of knowledge for your mental health. So stay here, stay on the channel. I guarantee something positive is going to happen in your life. Keep listening to episode after episode. I know sometimes I can get a little excited, right? And sometimes you sense that energy, and I'm just so hyper. But understand that I'm very serious in what I do, and I seriously want you to get up to a better place. This is why I'm here. This is why I created the channel. This channel's for you. It's not for me. Everything I teach on this channel I already know. I can just keep putting it into practice and keep it for myself, but that would be selfish, wouldn't it? So I'm offering this to the world today. Come here to T's Life Tree, get this knowledge, let it soak in, start putting this stuff into practice. Don't just listen, put it into practice. I almost guarantee you that your life, it won't be the same. It won't be the same after a while. This is your man, Terrion Wilson, Brother T. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch you on the next one, family. Peace. I cannot do this straight anymore, man.